Yo, what is up gamers? It is your boy, Ultimate12, back with another Genshin video. Today, I just want to do a short one, trying to get back into the groove of things, all this stuff. But anyways, this video, I want to go over some of my favorite teams that I, use a lot, or just generally enjoy. Not all of them are meta teams, I know that for a fact, because I don't have every character. So, maybe this will inspire you to upgrade specific characters, or maybe try new teams. But other than that, let's jump right into it. So, the first team here is, I believe, to be actually a meta one. My bad. But it is the national team, or as what I have heard some people call it, the international team with Raiden and, the regular cast of members. So, as you can see here, obviously it includes Bennett, Xingqiu, Zhengling, and Raiden. And all around, it's just a really good team. Raiden provides some ER for the rest of the members, and it allows me to run some different builds. And, well, that would include full emblem set, full emblem set on both Zhengling and Xingqiu. And this Xingqiu is actually built like a DPS. He's currently using Harbinger of Dawn, level 90, and these are his stats. Pretty insane. And this amount of ER is actually perfectly fine. Constellations, if you want to know, are only level 3, Zhengling is 5, Bennett is 4, and Raiden is 0. But yeah, other than that, I just really like this team. It's fun. All the units flow together, and they do some big damage. Now, in order to show you, I actually don't know what would be a good test, to be honest with you. I was just really gonna go around with these teams, but I guess I can show this one on the only thing that's gonna survive more than one rotation, which is the Primogeo Bishop. So let me run over there. And I'm just gonna do this in one take. So yes, you're gonna watch me run over here. Feel free to skip forward 10 seconds or something. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing this for like 3 or 4 teams. So yeah. While I'm doing this though, don't forget to like, sub, and follow me on Twitch. Right? It really help out the channels, right? And I really appreciate if you did that. It's close to my birthday. That's pretty epic. And if I could hit 50 follows before then that would be awesome. But other than that, yeah, just feel free to do so, guys. It doesn't cost you anything. Alright, so we're here at the Primogeo Bishop. Right, I'm just gonna go simply into rotation of this once he gets up. How much ER? Okay, Xingqiu's almost maxed out, which is perfect. So I can do this, get a really high damage there. Activate the ults, get everything in, and then if I need to, right, I can swap to Raiden and continue doing damage. Once she gets her ER, because she has so much, right, able to launch the ult and recharge everybody's ultimates. Although, I guess I was wrong, he dies before I even finish the first rotation. As you can see, it is quite strong. And I really like this team. You're just spamming burst, right, and it's just all around really good, it does a ton of damage, and it's something I definitely recommend, right? I just find it very fun team spamming all the burst, and with this, I mean, I don't have any ER problems, right? You can see there that I would get them with like one more use of their skills, right? Simply because of how strong Raiden is, and so yeah, it's awesome. If you want to know, I know I didn't show this, but I've got like a mediocre Raiden build that's really high ER, so that's really nice. To the catch. Zhengling is running the Wavebreaker Spin that I recently got. Talent levels are, I crowned Raiden. Haven't crowned these guys, but as you can see, they're there. There's that, and I crowned my Bennett, which is not necessary at all, but I thought it was a pretty decent idea. Now to the next one, right, is gonna be Eula. Literally any team with Eula. This is the one that I've started to run recently because Raiden is in the game now, and I just think it's very strong. Now, it's hard to really show this one off considering everything dies before Eula's burst goes off, but I guess I could show you over... I guess the Mago Kenkai would be a good example, so yeah, let's try him. But basically, this team, it's pretty simple. I've got my best Diona I've ever seen on screen right here with Favonius. I mean, could be better if I upgrade this, but that's pointless. Artifact set is 2-piece Sensei, 2-piece Maidens, Constellation 6, and I might crown her. But anyways, Diona cracked out of her mind. If it was LG, probably better, but anyways, Eula is actually an average build. As you can see here, it's like very mediocre. Fish, because that's her best free-to-play weapon besides Blackcliff. and 4-piece Pale Flame. No constellations, Crowned, Bennett, you've already seen him, and then obviously Raiden. Now, this is one of Eula's better teams, and honestly I just think it's fun running a double nuke setup. Of course you could run this with Sara, however, the main reason I don't run it with Sara is because my Sara is not C6. That honestly just means Bennett's overall better option. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So as you can see here, Eula's getting her first insanely fast, right? Bennett's giving him some extra damage. Now, he's already going to go into his next phase, so I'm going to be able to save this, right? I'm going to iframe through this. Boom. Now we are on to the second phase. He's going to take massive damage from this Eula burst. And, oh wow, Eula did not crit. Amazing. Well, that doesn't matter, you know why? Because, guess what? I have Raiden and I can generate the rest of my burst. So, yeah, as you can see, insanely strong team, having double nukers and basically two hyper carries on the team. It's very fun and strong, and yeah, it's one of my favorite teams. Mainly because of Eula's in it, but having both Raiden and Eula just makes it all the better. And yeah, this is an insane setup. Another one that you should try. Alright, enough of the Raiden teams, guys. Alright, surprise, surprise. Not that one. It's Xiao, actually. Now, this one is a bit different, because it actually varies. Now, first off, with Xiao, right? Normally, you run Xiao and a battery for him, because he suffers, well, he doesn't really suffer, but he's not generating enough energy by himself, right? For the most part, unless, of course, you have constellations and get multiple dashes in. So, I'm running him with Sucrose as a battery, of course, and team members usually include either Diona or Bennett as a healer and shielding, right, for extra resistance, or, right, what I like to do in the last slot is actually put in Noelle. Now, I think Noelle's extremely underrated, but if you did have, let's say, you're a whale, right, what you would want to do instead is run Noelle, not Noelle, Zhongli, Albedo, and Jean if you had a bunch of constellations on them, but this is sort of like I'm broke version of that team, right? Because Noelle is basically working as a mini Zhongli in this setup. And I took a pause there because I did want to mention that on this very team, I actually a lot of times either run Zhengling or Fischl, depending on the enemy's elemental resistance, because Xiao kind of suffers, well, he suffers heavily on single target DPS, right? And Fischl, with that, really helps being able to proc her passives, especially when she is C6, right? Doing a lot of extra damage. And Zhengling helps for Pyro, right? On top of Sucrose, allowing you to do insane AoE damage. Now, this team doesn't really have like a good scenario I could show here, so that's why I'm actually going to go into Abyss real quickly. If I remember correctly, this wasn't the exact team I used, but I do use a variation of this team inside of Abyss. And this is like not the best Abyss to really give you an example of it, so maybe I should go to a different floor with more enemies. Yeah, I think this one will work. So yeah, let me just put on that team real quickly. And actually, yeah, no, I will run Bennett. We're gonna run the double nuke setup with Sara instead. And that's it. But yeah, I just find this team really fun, mostly because of Xiao, right? And it's what you should do for the most part on a Xiao team, is build it around him. Now, I'll show you my Noelle build after this, but the entire point is revolved around your shield, right? Which, I don't know why those guys did not teleport, but I'm just gonna throw this in here. Take this, and just constantly plunge and kill everything. Now, my Xiao has received a pretty significant upgrade, I'd say, recently, with the fact that I have Coma now. So, maybe this is a bit unrealistic for some people. But, reminder, Blackcliff is a very strong option for him as well. So, as you can see here, the team just flows really well. A lot of this is actually due to the amount of ER that I'm able to get off of Sucrose, being able to generate it for basically everyone since she is running her best book, Sacrificial Book, right? Which, I mean, I know I'm killing enemies and getting a lot of energy back for Zhao, but even when I'm off cooldown, right, like this, I can swap to Noelle as a healer, or I can just spam Sucrose, right? Generate energy for Zhao. We'll get his burst back, and yeah, it just flows really well. And I'm pretty much not taking damage because Noelle is on the team. Now, as I said, you know, Zhongli's a much better option, but this is, I guess, better suited for free-to-play if you don't have Zhongli, right? I don't know if I've already said it, I probably did, but I think Noelle's extremely underrated. And there's an example right there. That last stand shield that she popped up, saved me right there. Otherwise, Zhao would have died, right? If you play Zhao, you know that there are situations like that where he just dies, right? But because Noelle, shield stays active on that character, right? I'm not gonna die using Zhao. Like, I don't have to worry about it. That last stand shield is insanely valuable. Like in like all content, you know. I find it very strong. Now, this is not what you would run for a C6 Noelle. If you have a C6 Noelle, you can DPS her, right? But this is what I'd recommend running Noelle if you don't have her with C6 and basically anything before C6. So there's the Zhao build. I'm just gonna go over it real quickly. Yeah, he's also triple crowned. Look at the stats and everything. There you go. Here is Sucrose, right? This is how you want to build Sucrose. Sack frags. It's just a best thing for her. Allows for more swirling and this is pretty much well, not only more swirling, but be able to reset your cooldown and get a lot of energy. Obviously full PV. I have C5, which her constellations are honestly just really supportive for her uptime on her abilities, which is nice. And then again, I haven't leveled her talents, but even with this, you can still see that she provides an insane amount of support. And I can even use it on other teams, boosting their elemental damage with the amount of EM that she's got. Even with this not even fully upgraded build. I've already seen Bennett. And here's Noelle. As you can see, I've got a pretty big defensive value. That's because I have an R5 lifeline that's not even maxed out. I have the artifact set, right, which it's made its below because I want her to focus on healing. But I'd say just generally, the new set that's coming out in the next update is Noelle's best in slot set for basically all versions of Noelle. Retracing Bolide is still a very solid option. However, if you are planning to run Noelle like what I'm suggesting here, right, definitely go with the new set 4-piece, right? Constellation is only C3. I wish I had more, to be honest, because if I had this, that'd just be extra off-field damage, right, without doing anything. But as I said, the main prize here was, I believe it is Devotion, right? Yeah, so when your character falls below 30% HP, which is pretty common for Zhao, you gain an overshield that actually has greater defense than her basically maxed out talent on here. Now, if you do have this crowned, it's actually about the same percentage, right? But keep that in mind. Noelle can have 2 shields, right? That's crazy. You know, she has her backup shield, right, for anyone that falls below, right, and it lasts for a pretty long time. And she has her main shield. Now, people have knocked this character for having bad cooldowns. However, her cooldowns aren't as bad as you think, due to, I believe, it is nice and clean. Yep. Every time you get a couple hits in with her, it reduces how long it takes to get this back up. So actually, her shield up time can be quite good, especially in teams like this. And considering, well, you have 2 shields. I find it insanely good, and especially with how much defense I am running on her. And I did level her talent quite a lot because I'm a pretty big fan of this character. And as I said before, if I had constellations, I'd play in the C6. So if you want to look at the actual artifact details, it is literally all defense. I've got high, well, this could be higher, but I've got kind of high defense rolls on literally everything. So yeah, I just think this is, like, I'm telling you right now, Noelle's underrated. I don't know why people say this character is as bad as like people claim to be, but she's actually insanely useful, especially in teams like this. So yeah, I think this video has been long enough, but hopefully you guys are maybe inspired to build some characters now, right? Or try out some new teams, because I think this is actually, I mean, these are just like some of my favorite teams now. I think it's definitely worth trying this. There are a few other options that I could mention as honorable mention, like running Tendency on Raiden to get extra damage on Eula. I personally would not do that, but if you are going for damage per screenshot, right, that thumbnail damage, you can do that to boost the damage higher. you can do the same thing for Fischl on any of those teams, right? You can run Hero Tendency. That's actually what I do. But yeah, and let's say on this Xiao team, actually, if you had Skyward Spear, right, whatever the spear is called, and you could run a normal attack Xiao with like Beidou and Fischl or something, you can do that. But that's only if you have the spear because of boosted attack speed. But that's just something to consider. And last but not least, I would like to give a shout out to my favorite character, Amber. Okay, I'm kidding, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Yeah, I don't have much more to say about this. These are just some of my favorite teams I like to run, at least with what I've got. If I had Kazuha, I'd be able to show a lot more, but again, not my main account. If you do want to see more stuff like this, feel free to ask. I do have access to all the characters, just not on this account. And so yeah, if you want to see more stuff like this, comment down below, and I'll see you guys next time.